Today I decided to tell you something that differs from the usual tales of war. So please enjoy a poem about Wojtek by Hania Kazanowska. Wojtek, can you hear me? Wojtek, do you still remember me? Wojtek, ci pamiętasz? Wojtek, ci dziś pamiętasz nie? The penetrating sound of friends transcend the pages of time. And the bear turns his ear as the bell of the universe chimes. He remembers as though it was yesterday as he looks back. He was a little brown bear tightly held by a child in a sack. The waves of the Caspian brought to Persia many broken souls. A cascade of hopeful, starving and helpless deported Poles. They were housed in civilian camps with clothes and a meal. And Persia allowed them many gifts just to help them heal. One day a Polish soldier appeared with a young girl he can't forget. He traded the boy a handful of coins and bought the girl a pet. She took her gift into a civilian camp, but quickly saw her error. This was not the place to raise this mischievous little bear. After 3 months he was given to a group of Polish army men, with blessings that he could become their mascot in a pen. The young soldiers accepted their gift with the excitement of a boy. They fed and hugged the little bear and filled his heart with joy. They nursed him from a vodka bottle filled with a sweet milk, and cuddled him in their sleeping bags like a tiny piece of silk. They taught him how to play and showered him with love. And he believed that he had been given a family from above. He was no different than the soldiers who took him in. They had both been abandoned in a world full of sin. The soldiers had suffered a lot and the bear gave them hope. And together they were bound like a tightly twisted rope. They taught him how to smoke and how to drink their beer. And when he wrestled them to the ground, everyone would cheer. The rays of the Middle East sun would become a soldier's wrath. But a hole was dug in the sand with water so the bear could have a bath. He was a smiling little warrior and from the wild easy to tame. And so the soldiers decided that Wojtek should be his name. They taught him to speak Polish and showed him that they cared, and recognized him as a Polish spirit wrapped in the body of the bear. Wojtek never thought of himself as anything other than a man. He lived his life in unison under a highly orchestrated plan. They battled the Mediterranean, but their greatest challenge lay ahead. But Wojtek was refused the ship to Italy and their hearts filled with dread. Someone said he was a bear and only soldiers could be on the ship. So they enlisted him as a private so he could make the trip. So now he had a number, was a soldier in every sense of the word. And nobody in the 22nd Transport thought this was absurd. He continued to boost the morale of soldiers fighting to the death, and became a legend for many who had taken their last breath. He watched the ammunition being carried by exhausted men. It was just as easy for him to do the same job as a team of 10. So he proudly carried the boxes to show his soldiers that he could. And they cheered and bestowed their pride as every soldier should. The battle had been fought for so long on this shattered, bloody hell. But this time it would take more than just courage and skill. The thirst for freedom was carried in every soldier's boot. And Wojtek did everything but pick up a gun and shoot. He was a story to many who heard about the things he had done. He enlightened and uplifted the soldiers' spirits with Polish fun. The battle raged and the smoke of thunderous cannons filled the air. And alongside the Polish soldiers fought this majestic bear. He becomes the mascot of the regiment that he served so well. And their emblem became Wojtek carrying the bloody shell. And when the war was over the soldiers had to rebuild their lives. But where do you put a bear that was strong enough to survive? They took him to Scotland, where many soldiers had decided to go to, and finally realized that Wojtek's best home would be Edinburgh Zoo. Wojtek had come on a long journey and for a time been free, walking on the grounds with soldiers and enjoying the shade of a tree. It broke every soldier's heart to leave their brother behind the cage. He was one of them, but now the reality of life was on a new stage. So the Polish soldiers who stayed visited him every chance they had, and shared a cigarette as they talked of good times and bad. The dimensions of time take Wojtek back to where he is today. But if you speak Polish he can hear what you say. Wojtek, czy pamiętasz? Wojtek, czy pamiętasz nie? Wojtek, do you remember? Wojtek, do you still remember me? And Wojtek turns his head and looks the soldier square in the eye. And tears stream down the cheeks of both in a silent, bonded cry. Take brasize ku pamiętam, take brasize ku jistci pamiętam. Yes, my brother, I remember. Yes, my brother, I still remember you. Wojtek, we will all remember you. We will never forget you. Hope you enjoyed this different type of entertainment